Overwhelmed by the amount of language learning apps that are out there? Wondering which one is best for learning German? Well, then you're in the right place. In this video, I'm going to share my favorites from a teacher's and language learner's point of view. This video is not sponsored. I have reviewed these apps, tested them out, and selected the ones that I have found most helpful for learning German. And by the way, Duolingo didn't make it on the list, and I'll explain why at the end of this video. If we haven't met yet, herzlich willkommen bei Speak Fluent German. My name is Salome. I'm a native German teacher and also language learner. So besides German as my mother tongue, I also speak English, as you can hear, Mandarin, Cantonese, and a B1 level of French, and I'm currently learning Thai. So when it comes to reviewing language apps, I first and foremost look for practicality in the sense of, am I learning practical everyday life language that is going to help me improve my speaking skills? Because at the end of the day, I want to learn a language so that I'm able to communicate with people. If I'm just learning random phrases, that is not going to get me anywhere. Secondly, is the app fun and engaging? If I'm not enjoying the app, I'm most likely not going to stick to it, and apps for me are something like a side quest in this whole language learning adventure. So I want it to be something that switches things up and is fun to do. If you feel like we're on the same page, then you'll definitely like the apps that I have selected for German. Speaking of side quests, the way I view incorporating apps into language learning is that it is something you do to supplement some sort of structured learning, like a course, for example, as your main quest. Because one thing none of these apps do is to give you feedback on your spoken and written skills, no matter how practical and fun they are. You're just not going to know if your pronunciation is correct, and you also don't really have someone to ask questions and to get the individual support you need to make progress fast. So that is something to keep in mind, and if you are interested in getting guidance on your German learning journey, my online course and community, the German Fluency Academy, takes students from zero knowledge all the way up to a conversational level. Every single week, you get live support through a video call with me. We also do regular speaking and pronunciation activities inside the community that you get individual feedback on. So now that I've done my due diligence in outlining the best approach to incorporating apps into your language learning, let's dive into my top 5 recommendations. If you are looking for a solid app to help with learning German, you should check out Seedlang. It's a really practical way to improve your vocabulary, grammar, speaking, and listening comprehension in a structured step-by-step way. Some cool features include a story function for contextual learning and a trivia game to test your knowledge against other users while adding a fun and competitive element. They've also partnered with Easy German, so you get authentic native content to practice speaking and listening. One of the features I find especially helpful is their flashcard system. It includes recordings from native speakers, and you can even record yourself and compare your pronunciation to theirs. It's a great way to work on your pronunciation and is going to get you as close to working with a live teacher, but just through an app, as you could get. There are also grammar explanations and quizzes for things like verb conjugations and noun genders, which make it easier to learn the rules and apply them. And the best part, I have a 30% discount for you. The link is in the description if you are interested. Now let's talk about Busuu, which takes a more community-driven approach to language learning. One of its standout features is that you can connect with native speakers and other learners through the app. This makes it a great choice if you're looking for real-life conversation practice. You can get feedback from native speakers and other learners on your speaking and writing, which can be incredibly helpful for improving your active skills. Busuu also includes flashcards with videos featuring native speakers, and just like Seedlang, it allows you to record yourself and compare your pronunciation to the original. This is an excellent tool for refining your accent and making your spoken German more authentic. However, it's worth noting that while Busuu excels in conversational practice and community interaction, it doesn't offer an in-depth focus on grammar. Additionally, since the feedback is user-driven, the quality can vary depending on who responds to your questions. While apps like like Seedlang or Buzu are great for supplementing your learning as a fun side quest. They're not enough to build the foundation you need. Let the German Fluency Academy be your main quest, where you'll get personalized feedback, join speaking activities in our community, access regular live support sessions, and participate in pronunciation workshops, along with so much more. If you're interested in learning more, check out the free taster lesson link below. By the end of the free session, you'll find out how you can join us inside the academy. But still, if you enjoy interacting with people and learning through real-life conversations, Buzu's community-driven approach and engaging features can be a fantastic addition to your language journey. Now next, let's talk about LingoPie. It's such a cool platform if you're into learning through TV shows and movies, which I am definitely a huge fan of, and my students love it too. The idea is simple. By watching real-world content, you get to hear how the language is actually spoken and pick up cultural nuances along the way. After watching, you can take interactive quizzes to reinforce what you've learned, which is a nice touch. LingoPie is great if you already have a basic grasp of German and want to work on your listening skills while enjoying some entertaining shows. It makes learning feel less like studying and more like binge watching, which is pretty awesome if you ask me. That said, it's not ideal for total beginners, since it doesn't really dive into the basics or offer much in terms of structured lessons. So if you are just starting out, you might want to combine it with something more foundational, like for example, the German Fluency Academy. The German Fluency Academy is my step-by-step course that takes you from 0 all the way to a conversational level in German. So from A1 all the way to B1 in one place. It covers everything: reading, listening, speaking, and writing to ensure you build a strong foundation. The best way to get started is with my free taster lesson, which is linked below this video. Next is Mondly, which is fantastic for daily practice. The app uses a mix of lessons, games, and daily challenges to keep things interesting. One of the highlights of Mondly is its emphasis on real-world conversations. With features like speech recognition and vocabulary building games, you'll get a lot of hands-on practice. It's especially useful if you don't have a language partner and want to focus on speaking and listening skills. So if you want to get started with speaking and practice real-life scenarios, Mondly is a solid choice. If you're looking for something fun and easy to practice German, check out Lily, a children's book app. Honestly, it's not just for kids. I love children's books because they're simple, easy to understand, and perfect for beginner learners. What's great about the Lily app is that it also has audiobooks and read-along books. So you can listen to a native speaker while reading along with the text if you want. It's an awesome way to practice both listening and reading while picking up new vocabulary. Plus, the pictures in children's books also add a lot of context, making it even easier to follow the story. Definitely worth a try if you want to mix some fun into your learning. So, why did Duolingo not make it on the list of my recommended apps? Duolingo is fun and all, but honestly, it's not great if you're serious about learning German. First off, you learn all these random words and phrases that you'd never actually use in real life, like, so for example, who says the penguin eats the apple? It's funny, but it doesn't help when you're trying to have a normal conversation. Also, it's so gamified that it feels like you're just learning how to play the game and not actually use the language. People tell me all the time I have a 200 or 400 day streak, but then they can't speak or put together a proper sentence. That's because it's all about memorizing translations, not real communication. It's fine as a little side thing to keep up exposure, I guess, but if you really want to get good at German, you need something more solid and structured. Duolingo is like a fun distraction, but it's not enough to actually get you speaking. And that, my friends, is the reason why I don't recommend Duolingo. By the way, even though I am a language learner myself, and I do consider myself quite successful in it, I do have my own struggles with memorizing new words. Anything that helps with that, I highly appreciate. So in my last year's app review, I have listed some apps that are super helpful with expanding and retaining new vocabulary effectively. If that's something you need as well, then check out this video next. Das ist alles für heute. Vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen und bis zum nächsten Mal. Tschüss!